Hello, this is Abhilash. So today in this session I will explain the organs of governance and its functions. In this particular session I am going to discuss on parliament only. Okay. So rest two organs we will discuss in next lecture. Okay. So right now we have a three organs of governance to be discussed. First let's start from parliament. So parliaments in other words we can say a legislative. It forms laws and procedures along with the examining the administration and its resolution. Second one is executive. It comprises of the president and or government, council of minister at union or state level, along with the administration which executes and enforces law made by legislature. Third, judiciary. The Supreme Court at the top level to community courts at the bottom. They interpret the law made. Okay. So now we are talking about the parliament. So parliament consists of the president, two houses known as the council of states, that means Rajya Sabha, and the house of people, that means Lok Sabha. Each house has to meet within 6 months of its previous sitting. Okay. A joint sitting of two houses can be held in certain cases. So Rajya Sabha. The constitution provides that the Rajya Sabha shall consist of 250 members, of which 12 members shall be nominated by the president from among persons having special knowledge or practical experience in respect of such matters as literature, science, art, social service, and not more than 238 representatives of the states of the union territories. Elections to the Rajya Sabha are indirect. Members representing states are elected by elected members of legislative assemblies of the states in accordance with the systems of proportional representations by means of the single transferable vote, and those representing union territories are chosen in such manner as parliament may by law prescribe. The Rajya Sabha is not subject to dissolution. One third of its members retire every second year. Rajya Sabha at present has 245 seats. Of these, 220 members represent the states and the union territories, and the 12 members are nominated by the president. Lok Sabha. It's a house of the people, and the Lok Sabha is composed of the representative of the people chosen by direct election on the basis of adult suffrage. The maximum strength of the house is set by the constitution is now 552. 5 it means within 552 members, 520 members to be represent states and 20 to be represent union territories. Okay. The total elective membership of the Lok Sabha is distributed among states in such way that the ratio between the numbers of seats allotted to each state and population of the state is far as practical that same for all states. The Lok Sabha at present consists 545 members. Of these, 530 members are directly elected, and as I told you, 20 members are represents union territories. The term of Lok Sabha, unless dissolved earlier, is 5 years from the date appointed for its first meeting. However, while a proclamation of emergency is in operation, this period may be extended by Parliament by law for a period not extending 1 year at a time. Not extending in any case beyond a period of 6 months after the proclamation has ceased to operate. 14 Lok Sabha have been constituted so far. So this is the composition of Parliament. Okay. So now look at the qualification for membership in Parliament. So a person must be a citizen of India. So this is the one of the important point. Whoever is want to become a member of parliament, he should be a citizen of India. Uh, Not less than 30 years of age in the case of Rajya Sabha, or and not less than 20 years of age in the case of Lok Sabha. Additional qualifications may be prescribed by Parliament by law. Parliament functions and power. Functions and powers of Parliament as in other parliamentary democracies. The Parliament in India has the cardinal functions of legislations, overseeing of administrations, passing of the budget, bills, ventilation of public grievance, and the discussion various subjects like development plans, national policies, international relations. The distribution powers between the Union and states followed in the constitutions emphasizes in many ways the general uh, people of parliament in the legislative field. Apart from the times, the parliament can, under certain circumstances, assume legislative power with the respect to a subject following with the spare exclusive reserved for the states. The parliament is also vested with powers to impeach the president and to remove the judge of Supreme Court and High Court, the chief election commissioner and the controller and auditor general in accordance with the procedure laid down in the constitutions. All legislations require consent of both the House of Parliament. In the case of money bills, however, the will of the Lok Sabha prevails, and the delegated legislation is also subject to review and control by Parliament. So, besides the power to legislate, the Constitution vests in Parliament, and the power is initiate amendment of the constitutions. Okay. So we'll discussing qualification required to become an MLA. To become a member of state legislative assembly, the next point is state legislature. The state legislative assembly, that means Vidhan Sabha. We know that we sometimes we might have heard this word Vidhan Sabha. So qualification required to become an MLA, to become a member of a state legislative assembly. A person must be a citizen of India, not less than 25 years of age, should be mentally sound, should not be bankrupt, must be enrolled on the voters list of the state for which he or she is contesting an election. He or she may not be a member of parliament and member of the state legislative council at the same time. This is the one of the important point. And he or she should also state an affidavit that there is no criminal procedure against him or her. Each member of the Legislative Assembly is directly elected to serve for 5 years. The terms to be served, that is for 5 years. The constitutions of India state that the state legislative assembly must have no less than 60 or not more than 500 members. However, an exception may be granted via an act of parliament, as in the case in the state of Goa, Sikkim, Mizoram, and the Union Territory of Pondicherry, which have fewer than 60 members. A state legislative assembly may be dissolved in a state emergency by the governor on a request of the chief minister, or if a motion of no confidence is passed against the ruling majority party. Powers of the state legislature. A state legislative assembly holds the equal legislative power with the upper house of state legislature. The state legislative council expect in the area of resolution of the state government and the passing of money bills, in which case the state legislative assembly has the ultimate authority. Powers of legislative assembly are given below. Like a motion of no confidence against the government in the state can only be introduced in the state legislative assembly. If it is passed by a majority vote, then the chief minister and her and his council of ministers must collectively resign. Okay, this case we have seen 3 years back in Karnataka, where BJP opposed the Congress government and they have passed they have passed this motion of thanks. No, sorry, it's not motion of thanks, it's motion of no confidence in the government, in the current government. Money bill can only be introduced in state legislative assembly in matter related to the ordinary bills. The will of the state legislative assembly prevails, and there is no provision of joint sitting. In such cases, state legislative council can delay the legislation by a maximum 4 months. Okay, so last point is legislative assembly of the state has to power to create or abolish the state legislative council by passing a resolution to that effect by a majority of not less than two-thirds of the members present and voting. Okay, the union territories, union territories is a type of administrative division in the Republic of India. Unlike the state of India, which have their own governments, union territories are federal territories governed in part or in whole by central government of India. So Indian territory in Hindi we are saying Kendra Shasit Pradesh. This is the Hindi word. The Parliament of India can pass a law to amend the constitutions and provide a legislature with elected members and a chief minister for a union territory. And it has done for Delhi, Pondicherry recently. In general, the President of India appoints an administrator or lieutenant governor for each union territories. So Delhi, Pondicherry, Jammu and Kashmir operate differently from the other five. They were given partial statehood, and Delhi was redefined as the National Capital Territory and incorporated into a large area known as the National Capital Region (NCR). So Delhi, Pondicherry, and Jammu Kashmir have an elected legislative assembly and executive council of ministers with the partial state-like function. Okay. Now we are coming to the local government, that is municipalities, the panchayats, and cooperative societies. Okay. So municipalities is a local government in India that administers urban areas with a population of more than 1 million. The growing population and urbanization in various cities of India were in need of a local governing body that can work for providing necessary community service like healthcare, educational institutions, town planning, housing, transport, etc., and so on by collecting property tax and fixed grant from the state government. The panchayats, you might have the word of Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Raj as well. So, panchayat is a political system originating from the Indian subcontinent, found mainly in India. Found mainly in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Nepal. It is the oldest system of local government in the India subcontinent. Historical mentions that the Gram Panchayat came in India around 250 CE period. The word Raj means rule. I already told you you might have heard about Panchayat Raj. The leader of panchayat was often called the mukhia, sarpanch or pradhan, an elected or generally acknowledged position. The modern panchayat raj of India and its gram panchayats are neither to be confused with the traditional system nor with the extra constitutional panchayats found in part of the North India. In the past, Mahatma Gandhi advocated Panchayat Raj as the foundation of India's political system. It would have been a decentralized form of government where each village would be responsible for its own affairs. The term for such a vision was Gram Swaraj. Instead, India developed a highly centralized system of government. However, this has been moderated by the delegation of several administrative functions to the local level. Empowering elected gram panchayats, there are significant differences between the traditional panchayat raj system and the system in, envisioned by Gandhi and the system formalized in India in 1992. So in this session, now we are coming to the last point, that is cooperative society. So you might have come across this word, cooperative society. So this is the limited cooperative societies has been formed within the group of people for their development, for their roles, for their functions. Like if you went in some area, there are some societies or housing societies there, like they have registered their societies with the government, so they have their own members who are taking the decision behalf of all members who are living that particular area, or they are member of these cooperative societies. So this is the very limited, and they have formed this society for their own benefits or for their own security or for their own development. Okay, so this was all about the parliament. In my next session, I will explain the executive. We will have a discussion on executive, that is the second organ of governments. So thank you all. If anyone is having a question or doubt, they can connect with me on my WhatsApp number. They can call me. Thank you so much.